What's up, guys? Welcome to Al's World, and today we're doing a Call of Duty Modern Warfare review. Alright, so the game just came out Friday. I've spent the past 2 days playing it non-stop and getting my thoughts together on how I feel about this game, and we're going to spit it out right now. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is the gameplay. I think the engine runs really smoothly, and the graphics are absolutely beautiful. For comparison, when I first got MW2, I remember playing it for the first time on my 360, and I was just blown away at the graphics improvements compared to like the older CODs, and I feel pretty much the same way about this game. It's really incredible what they've done with the engine and the graphics, and it adds a lot of realism, and it adds a lot of flash to the game for how it looks. With respect to gameplay mechanics, it feels like a return to the simplicity of Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, even Modern Warfare. With slight additions like, field upgrades that complement the simple play style. But on the other hand, I don't think that things like field upgrades overcomplicate it too much, like some of the more recent COD games like Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3, which I do really appreciate for a shooter. A couple things I will complain about. The first thing is the kill time, and the regular game modes feels like hardcore mode in older games. Okay, so I'm noticing it takes a lot of times 1 to 2 to 3 bullets, depending on the gun, to kill you in regular game modes, which it usually was like 2 to 4 in the older games. And that makes you feel like first guy to get the shot off is going to kill you. And it kind of eliminates the strategy aspect of a gun battle, like in a game like Fortnite or some of the older CODs. And that's something that I wish they'd just keep for the realistic mode. And I wish that the regular game modes will maybe, takes more bullets to kill someone, so you have more gunfight mechanics and strategizing with that stuff. And we'll see if they do that in an update, but it is something that right now in the moment I don't like and I want to see improved. Another thing too is the head glitching. I mean, I kind of expected that. It's a Call of Duty game, but you'll see a lot of head glitching between the car or the bus windows, where you as a shooter will see their name tag in red, and you can even see their head, and even if you're aiming at their head, the bullets don't seem to register. It seems to be a head glitch. They're of course able to shoot you, and it's a little frustrating. Hopefully they'll patch that up. It is the launch right now. So that's it for the gameplay. Now we're going to talk about the maps. So with the maps, I kind of have mixed feelings. Some of the maps feel well balanced for certain types of modes, like Search and Domination. I feel like they all run really well. But for other modes like TDM, it's not a good fit. Also, TDM has the spawn issues right now. They need to figure that out, because in TDM a lot of times I'll spawn and I have 2 enemies aiming right at me, and they're just ready for it. In a game like TDM, that shouldn't be the case. It actually should be more the case in Domination, but Domination actually seem to have Domination down, which is a little confusing. We'll see if they'll update that. As far as the maps, some of the maps feel like they're too big for 6v6 game modes, and that's something that, maybe just my preference. And also, a lot of the maps seem to be suitable for campers, just the way they're designed. It seems to be like if you're out in the open, you're gonna have 15 different angles to be shot at, and you're just so vulnerable that it almost is conducive to camping. And that's a little annoying because, who likes campers? But again, it's Call of Duty and you just figure it out. The game still plays really well. I still don't mind the maps. It's just I have mixed feelings, and a lot of them are aesthetically pleasing. They're really beautiful maps. A lot of attention to detail in the maps and the graphics, and they do play well, especially for, like I said, Domination, Search, this new cyber attack mode, and then Ground War has been really nice. I really can't complain about Ground War at all. And we'll see what happens with the new maps that are coming out post-launch, which you will be getting for free. Great news. But one thing that I will say about the maps is there are 21 maps. A few of them have night versions of the same map, so it's not a real 21, but there are a lot of maps at launch, which does add a lot of variety and makes it fun to strategize with friends when you're doing team-based objective games. Now we're done with the gameplay and the maps. We're gonna now be talking about the unlockables, the ranking up, and things like that, which I love this year. Absolutely love. I think it's one of the best parts about this this game. Don't get me wrong, the gameplay is phenomenal as well, but I'm a big unlockable guy. I like unlocking things. It gives me incentive to play and stay around for a while. That's a big thing I want to talk about. No more prestige mode. That's the first thing that I'm really excited about. It's a big plus because it's just a grind, and it felt really redundant. And when you look back at it, prestige mode was just, you'd get up to, say, like, I remember MW2, you'd get up to level 70, and then you prestige. And then basically you lose everything that you just earned. So I remember the AK-47 came out at, you get it at level 70, and then you just lose it because you just prestige. And you never even got to use the AK until you reached 10th prestige, because back then they didn't have unlock tokens. But even unlock tokens, it was dumb. You work really hard just to get all this stuff, and then you have to just give it up again to get a cool little emblem and get a higher ranking. And it's the new system I really, really like, because You only have to go up to level 55 once and you unlock everything for good, but then there's additional leveling with the officer ranking system, which resets every season. So it's kind of similar to Fortnite, but you do have that base 55 still. And that's really cool because you're still able to unlock like ribbons and things that you can show off to say, hey, I did get that officer ranking during that season. And you can still show it off the same way that prestige emblems do that, but without just like the mindlessly stupid system of a prestige mode that just made no sense. Sorry, past 10 years of Call of Duty, it was dumb. Anyways, this leads me into unlockables. This game has a lot of unlockables. Each weapon takes a lot of work to level up, and the customization on the weapons is absolutely insane. You can edit each individual component of the gun to your liking, and you also have like trade-offs. So you want to add on like a certain attachment to your gun. It's gonna maybe make it easier for you to aim down the red dot sight, but you're gonna also be slower when you're moving around. And I think having that kind of strategy component to customizing your weapons makes it really take a lot of thought and a lot of effort into thinking about how you want your gun to benefit maybe your strengths or your weaknesses as a COD player, or how you want to customize that to a specific game mode that you're playing. It adds a different strategy component to the game, and I think it's really cool. Also, my gosh, you're going to be busy. Even though there's no prestiging in this game, you will have plenty to unlock. And also, with all this customization, I feel like it adds value to every weapon. Whereas in other Call of Duties, there'd be the obvious weapons that were OP. In this game, I feel like with customizations for the attachments and things like that, you can make any gun OP based on how your playstyle is and what you're trying to do. And I really appreciate that because that adds more value to the gun selection in this game. So big plus for that Infinity Ward. Another thing is the perks. The perks in this game, okay, so perks I'm kind of iffy on. They're a bit underwhelming for the loadouts. So like the traditional 3 perks you put with your class, it's a little underwhelming, but I would say they made up for that issue by giving guns their own perk slots, and the gun perk slots are phenomenal. You'll get like FMJ, or you'll get other things that really add a different dynamic to the strategizing, but it seemed like they could have just taken that perk for the gun slot and put it into the traditional 3. The traditional 3 are a little underwhelming, and I know there's like a thing you can activate that allows you to pick like up to 6 perks that you unlock as your kill streaks. And it just doesn't seem like I'd even want to do that. I'd rather have my kill streaks given how underwhelming I feel they are in this game. But on the other end, field upgrades I think are great, and they maintain like that simplistic feel to strategizing. So it's not like Call of Duty's throwing too much at you with the things that you get throughout the game, like the L1, R1 you have to click for, the field upgrades. I think back to Black Ops 4, they had something similar to it where you get like your flamethrower, you get like that war machine thing, and you just get it throughout the game, and you press L1, R1 to activate it. Those in Black Ops 4 were just like too OP, and it was just like, it kind of just made the gameplay annoying, because it's like, hey, you have your gun and you have your perks and all that, then someone just comes in with a flamethrower and incinerates you in like a millisecond. And it's things like that were just really annoying about Black Ops 4 that I didn't like in Black Ops 4 multiplayer. What they did here with this system is they'll give you things like tactical insertions or the recon radar that you can go fly around and mark people, and that's okay because it's not too overpowering, but it does add strategy to the game. So I appreciate that addition, and them not trying to overdo it with adding in too much stuff to the multiplayer. So that's pretty much my take on multiplayer this year. I will say that right now I'd give the game about an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. It's really great, plays well, incentivizes you to play, and as of right now, it's pretty much free of microtransaction garbage. And remember though, today is October 27th, I'm doing this review. How's it gonna look in January? What about April? Because if I recall, Black Ops 4 was an awesome game when I got it, I think in October last year. And then, stuff happened. Here's the thing, they're giving us a free season pass, and I say that with quotations around season pass this year, which is a huge surprise coming from Activision, because we're not going to have to dish out money for maps, and they've been doing that for as long as I can remember. So that's interesting, and it makes me ask, okay, how's Activision's greedy selves going to get their money from us? We will see what happens when the first battle pass comes out. They said nothing about paying to win. They said everything will not affect, the competitiveness of the gameplay or something along those lines. And if I recall right, they said the same thing about Black Ops 4. I don't know if I can trust them. The only reason I bought this game is because it's Modern Warfare. And out of all the Call of Duty series, the different themes, I've always loved the Modern Warfare games. And I really just had to buy this game for that reason. And I also haven't played the campaign yet. Here the campaign is out of this world. So that's really why I bought this game. If this was Black Ops 5, I wasn't going to buy it just because Activision has been shady with the microtransaction stuff. And you know what? I'm going to say this much. I give the game a 9 out of 10 right now. If you want to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right now is the time to go up and buy it or rent it for a couple weeks, a couple months. And I'm hoping, but given Activision's previous record, I'm going to assume they're going to add some pay-to-play mechanics to this game and ruin it. But as of right now, this is golden hour. Right now, I'd say get your gameplay in, get your yearly COD craving out of your system right now, and go for it. I hate to say that, but that's probably the reality of it. If they do not mess this up, I give this the best COD since MW3. That's all I got for you guys. We'll be having another video coming out very soon talking about gameplay tricks, tips, things for leveling up, and my favorite loadouts going forward with all the customizations. I'll be coming out with one of those very soon. And other than that, enjoy the rest of your day and get gaming.